Let's talk about this concept of Saadhan Chatustay. These are four things that make one person deserving of Brahm Vidya, and one eligible to be to understand Brahm Gyan. There's four of them: Vivek, Virag, Khat Sampati, and Mukshu. Vivek is the most important out of all of them. The reason being is because Vivek means wisdom. And wisdom, it's not about anything worldly. It's about to understand the difference between Sat and Asat, Nit and Anit, and Atma and Anatma. So Sat is defined as something that exists all the time. It exists in every time, present, past and future, and in the three states of mind, which is Jagat, Swapan, Sukopat, which is when you're awake, when you're in the dream world, and when you're in deep sleep, which is called Sukopat. Now, what the interesting thing with the Sukopat state is that the buddhi actually goes into sleep as well. So the only thing that's left is, you know how when you go to sleep and you're like, you're in deep sleep, and then you wake up and you're like, I just fell asleep a second ago, and 4 hours are gone, and you didn't dream anything. So that is the sukh. That it is. It's actually a state of Brahm Gyan, but the only reason why you can't see the Atma is because the buddhi has all this filth of our past karma on it.
You just feel it's state of
it's a state of extreme joy, actually. When people want to go to sleep, it doesn't matter if you're like
contentment.
The contentment. If you put like the best foods in front of the person, be like, no, I just want to go to sleep. Because the reason is because it gives you the utmost happiness, the anand, right?
That happens 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah. So we don't know the timing, but that is the deep sleep state. So anyways. So what is it that only exists during that time? Because your buddhi's not awake. You don't even know what happened. If somebody could, steal your furniture and you won't even know when you're in deep sleep, right? So the only thing that's present at that time is Brahm, and that is Sat. Now this is a distinction, is that you have to understand that is Sat. The world is Asat. It's not true. It's Anitya. It's not every day. The only thing that's Nitya, the one that exists every day, is Brahm. Right? That's the Atma. It's the pure form of Atma. So the world is something that hadn't existed at one point and won't exist at one point. Therefore, it's temporary. And I keep going back, as Gyani Sherasanji explains it. He references Adi Shankaracharya when he explains that nothing actually really did exist, because it didn't exist in any time period. All this is an illusion. It doesn't really exist, right? And that's a whole different topic on existence. Right? And we feel like we do exist, but in actuality, what is it that it's thinking that we exist, right? Now, the Granths explain this in the way the Maya works, is that Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun. These are three types of, characteristics.
That we have.
Right, but they say everything is made from the 5 elements, the Panchatat, which is air, space, water, fire, and earth. Now, sometimes we think of Surya. They say Surya Devata, right? And it's there's many Suryajas, right? There's many suns in the universe, but there's one power of sun behind it, right? So, similarly, the first thing that was made was what they call is the Suksham Tat, Apanchikaran. So the 5 elements weren't made in the solid form first; they were made in the invisible form first. The actual power of the element was made first. From those powers of the element is where the mind, buddhi, the man, buddhi, chit, and hankar is from. Right? The chit is inside of us, the one that desires things, makes wants to do something. The man is the one that makes the plan to get it, to get this thing that we want.
Okay.
The buddhi is the one that makes the judgment whether it was received or not, and then hankar is the one that feels that I did it.
Okay.
And this is what is called the antashkaran. These are the four things inside the antashkaran.
Okay.
Right? And then so what you need to realize is that's not the Atma. It takes its power from the Atma, but it's not the Atma. So the Atma is the exact same thing as Paramatma. It's no difference. It's like air. Air here, air versus outside is the same thing.
Yes, it's like pani kada.
Yeah, it's just ether, right? There's in the kada, in the pot, there's air in the pot.
Yeah.
But when you break the pot, where does the air go?
Yeah.
It just kind of mixes in the space.
Yes. Water in the ocean, water in the
Right. Right, so it's all the same thing, and Atma is the exact same thing. The only thing is it's in a form where you can't see it or you can't feel it because your buddhi, your man, is covering everything. And then there's ways to basically clean that. And this is the reason why you need to understand what is it that's going to exist and what isn't that going to exist forever, right? This is the actual thing for Vivek, right? So the wisdom, so the one who understands that this world is not going to exist forever. There's nothing to achieve. There's nothing that will last forever, that will give me pleasure forever.
Right.
In fact, what we receive with pleasure is the way we had formed our karma in our previous lives. So this whole body that we have now is basically made of our previous karma.
Okay.
Whether they're good or whether they're bad. Now, when you think about it, we have been not millions, not billions, but we've had infinite lives before this. This is not our first life.
Right.
We're
carrying on the karam.
Yeah, so we have karam for many lives.
Yes.
And whether a karam is good or whether it's bad, it's still a chain.
Yeah.
It's still going to give us a body. It's going to make us come back here. It's not going to give us mukti. Right? You have to do karam that are without desires. Only they're the ones that will basically wash your karma away. So seva, doing selfless work, donating things, right? These are the things that are going to kill the bad karma and the good karma too.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
So when you're at net zero,
you should be at zero. Okay.
that's when you receive mukti. Right? So basically what Vivek is, to understanding what is it that's going to exist, what is it that's Sat, what is Paramatma, and what is not, I'd say Anatam is what we call it. I shouldn't say not Paramatma, because Paramatma is everywhere, whether it's conscious or unconscious. But you have to understand what is it inside me that's a real me, that's feeling